Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Bro Talk, the podcast where we have real conversations that empower, uplift, and challenge us to do better, to be better leaders and community builders. So today, in honor of Women's Month, we're focusing on a conversation that is long overdue. So, how we as men can honor, uplift, and support our Black women. This is more than just a celebration; it is a call to action. If you're listening to this for the first time, we want to thank you for joining us. We ask that you hit that share button, share it with somebody that you know, a friend, a relative, a friend. For this particular episode, you can share it with a fellow brother or even and a sister to join us for this show. So, as customary, we always start the show off by doing some check-ins. So, brothers, how y'all doing today?
Well, for me, I've been sick all weekend since last Friday.
Mm.
I have like a little cold or something, and I don't know, I must have touched something on this public transportation that I've
Yeah,
been taking.
what's it called down there?
Dirty DC.
I
Um,
was gonna say the Marta, but that's Atlanta.
yeah, so I was under the weather, man. So I kind of just got some rest for weekend.
Good.
Try to flush my system out a little bit, steam myself, drink tea, soup, just and just rest, laid up, man. You know, that's all I did this weekend, bro. My son's gonna be with me at all this weekend. I didn't want him to catch what I have, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah,
that
man.
was it for me. But I feel a lot better.
Yeah, you sound better, man.
I
You
feel a
sound.
lot better. Yeah,
I couldn't tell you were sick earlier when we were chatting,
yeah.
back on stage. I couldn't really tell.
Drink that Nyquil, boy.
Yeah,
Knock
that's
you
good.
out. Hey,
That's good. That'll definitely do it. All right, what's up in your world, bro?
It's Monday, man. Back to work. It
Yeah.
was definitely a busy weekend this past weekend. So, Friday I went down to New York for my niece's funeral, and I just wanted to say that it was a beautiful ceremony. It was amazing, the venue that we were in, to be able to kind of walk through and see, the pictures of her, at different stages of her life. And she was truly a beautiful person inside and out. And it showed by the amount of people that actually were there to celebrate her life. And, just, kind of really highlight some of the memories that they had with her. And, just one notable Black woman I want to shout out. It's Miss P, as we call her, but, Camp Shiley. She made the trip down, and she shared some, words about, Kamaya's impact on the Brockport campus. So it was really, great to have her down there, but, just really to spend some time with the family. And, so, definitely appreciate that, appreciate my mom for coming down and showing that love and support as well, too. Just really an opportunity to kind of really celebrate her life. So it was great. After that, we took a drive over to Albany, which was about 3.5 hours away the following day. And the girls Ava and Zoe had their gymnastics competition. So just want to shout them out for contributing to the success of their team. Zoe's team got second place, but she was able to get first overall, which was really great to see in her age class. And then, Ava, she contributed to her team as well, too. She didn't do as well as Zoe, but she still was able to get a medal in, one of the events, the balance beam, where she does an amazing job. And, obviously just, really learn some lessons about not finishing first and, having some challenges and struggles along the way. So it was kind of sad to see, her, hurting and, upset about her performance. But I'm super proud of seeing her today. She went back to practice today, and she said she had a great practice. And Ezra and I have been talking to her about what she needs to do to get to the point where she's, improving in those skills, recognizing that she's not little Ava that she was last year, right? She gained some, she got taller, right? So she gained some weight, so she has to gain some strength to go along with that to be able to do some of the things that she was doing before. And then just kind of listening to her today after she came home from practice, and the strides that she started making to get there, and committing to do workouts at home. And it's just great to be able to kind of watch that and watch her grow and watch her, kind of come into her own in her own time. So, that's kind of where I am right now. Definitely got to shout out Eli real quick. I know I'm starting the show with shout outs, but, just for, being a supportive little brother, because it's tough to, kind of go and spend your whole weekends, watching a gymnastics competition that you're not even watching while you're there, right? He's playing a switcher and all that, but being there to be a support to them, man. He's a great kid too. So,
of course.
But yeah, that's kind of where we are.
Hey, I just want to acknowledge the fact that you all came from a funeral and then went to a athletic competition. And the fact that your girls even competed, man, just says a lot about their fortitude and even their adaptability and resilience and just able to focus. So, I mean, the fact that they placed too, that says a lot about them. It says a lot about you and Ezra as parents, and it says a lot about them being in sports. Sports is something that really helps people to be resilient and overcome, and be able to, fight through, because things happen all the time, but, these things don't happen all the time, right? And as a kid having to deal with that. So, man, kudos to them, and God bless them, man, just for even doing it.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Man.
Yeah.
Well
So,
so what you, bro?
Man, shoot, man. So this is March, and I got a thing that I wrote here off to the side that nobody can see, but it says complete chapters 1, 2, and 3 by March 2025. So I have my 3 chapters from my dissertation that I've written, and now I need to go through them and work through the notes so that I can resubmit it and get approved in order for me to move forward in the process, which would be me defending my proposal, which would be the first 3 chapters. And then from there, I can apply for IRB and get my study started. So it's going to be critical, man, for me to focus this month. And that's kind of where my mind is right now. Sports is just about done. Chloe, unfortunately, jammed her thumb yesterday or sprained it. So she's out this week. So she's still going to go to basketball, support her team, which is, again, about being a good teammate, being a team player is, even an injury, you're going to support your team. And then my son, I think he has a tournament this week too. So
Chloe should be icing right now too.
She's icing. She's taking medication. She got a thing on her arm now. She got to wear for about a week.
So she got it bad.
Yeah. Yeah. She went to the doctor for it. So yeah, doctor took her out for the
doctor. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So you don't like to see your kids hurt, man. It's just
part of the game.
Yeah, I saw when it happened. She went to intercept the ball and her hand was out there, and I was like, "Oh boy."
That's what happened, man. When I was punching Papa, man, my joint still messed up. Papa tried to slap box slap. What do they call it? We call it slap box.
Yeah.
I told him, man, your stinky legs ain't good, bro. Give it up. You can't test the Jamaican King on those slap boxes, man. Now, because don't let the size fool you. The man's is lethal. No, I hope his chest is still all right.
Well, Papa learned the lesson, man. He didn't learn the lesson because then he went and wanted to slap box James, and that was funny to
Right.
watch. Two old men slap boxing, like that's
And,
just that's the.
I didn't have mercy on him because he was older on me.
Yeah,
No
James was
stop.
trying to get him to stop, though. He was trying to tell him to stop, but you know,
I told him to stop. They tried to say and then John told him to stop. But he still didn't want to. And still after he got that downstairs, he went upstairs. I was about to break up Shay centerpiece, man. I have to catch him. You know, after I did it to him, I have to catch him. You know what I'm saying? So he don't fall into the centerpiece. Papa.
Papa, we love you, man. You gotta stop. You gotta stop slap boxing with bros, though. But we love you, man. Shout out to Papa.
Man.
Shout out to Papa, man. So, anybody that's watched this show knows that usually there's 4 of us, and so Balo's not here right now. He's dealing with some things. So just keep him in your prayers and your thoughts. You know, he's doing okay. It's just he's dealing with some stuff. So, anyway, let's move forward with today. First thing I want to do as we talk about Women's Month and Black women in general, I just want to highlight this Black woman group, Dr. Wagstaff and her team. They came out with a book called Unmasking the Magic by the Fortitude Collective. So if you get a chance, check this out. This is a great book by 3 great women. As a matter of fact, their picture is right here. You want to check them out right there. So it's on Amazon. I'm sure it's on all of the major places where you can get books. Unmasking the Magic, Fortitude Collective. Check this out. Support it. Black women. It's a good read. Go ahead and get your copy. So I want to make sure I said that. I wanted to put that out there. So I want to get this started by just saying that really this is an opportunity for us as Black men just to personally reflect on the Black women that have impacted our lives, you know, specifically, and also just to talk about the legacy of Black women just in general. So I think we can start there with that. And, you know, who are some Black women that have impacted you brothers?
Yeah, I think I mentioned one previously, you know, in Miss Pashadley's.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, just to think about like the time that she's been in Brockport, right? And the time that she spent there, and the number of people that we know have gone through Brockport, and all find out that like we have this connection back to this one individual, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know that you're talking about the same person because like a lot of the lessons and the real conversations and you know, the words of encouragement that you get as a student there, or when you come and sit on that couch, man, it spans across generations. Yeah. Like, you know, one of my grand dean, right, Bruce Dean, just had an article about some of the great work that he was doing. Yeah. It was highlighted by Brockport to talk about, you know, who were some of the people that influenced him, and her name popped up. And, you know, I actually saw that article that came through our group chat on this past Saturday, right, which is the day after the funeral, where she just came in and spoke about, you know, Kamaya and her impact, you know, who graduated some, 20 years later, right? So, you know, it's just the fact that, you know, she's been there, you know, for so long, but is also still making an impact. And we know a lot of times, you know, people can overstay their welcome, can get to a point where they're just kind of going through the motions and, you know, not necessarily, you know, doing the work for the right reasons, but, you know, over that full span of time, like she has been consistent in that. So I just want to shout her out, you know, for the impact she had in my life personally, my wife's wife, you know, my niece, my brothers, you know, that, you know, we all have different stories, I'm sure, that we could share, about her as well too. So I just want to figure out we'd start it there, and then kind of talk about some others that have impacts on our lives.
I must say, man, one thing that we did, we changed her hairstyle. Because, when she just came in, her hair was all the way down to her back. now she look like me right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what them alphas did to her, man. I'm trying to tell you. Lord have mercy. But she's a blessing in disguise, man. A blessing in disguise. She's like a mother to me, a big sister, a mentor. You know what I'm saying? She play all those roles different. For me. You know what I'm saying? Each of those. And man, there was times, man, that couch, whew, Lord. The student union, boy. I mean, we get called to meetings, we one-on-one group meetings, man, we get invited to the house and she cooking for us, you know what I'm saying? And she roll out the carpet, man, and all that, man. And she's a blessing in disguise. And for people that never had those experiences, that have someone that really truly love young black men, and women, I'm sorry you never got that experience, man. But Miss Pashali, I don't know what Brockport is gonna do when she left that position, and I know it's soon too. And I'll be hating for the fact that those young men and young women who's gonna be going there not gonna have that person like her, because there will not be somebody like her there to do what she did. You know what I'm saying? And she's amazing, man. She's amazing. And not only that, I got to share when she went to Africa for the first time. I was there with her, sharing in her glory and her love, and you know what I'm saying, just look at her, just laughing with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mark, this is really nice. This is what you've been. I see what you're talking about now. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot, man. So shout out to her, man. Shout out to Miss P, man. She's a legend in the game, man. We love you. We care for you. And just know that. And I know she knows.
I'm trying to see what's her name. That's her right there. Kuswa Karen Michelle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's her.
I wanted to just send her the link, man. But I'm sure she knows how we feel about her. But it's just good to give their flowers while they're still around and doing their thing. We also have somebody on YouTube mention Helen J. Cheeves. I didn't know this person, but seems like they put in a lot of time and effort supporting students. Was an adjunct professor of communication, which is Isaac and I major, for over 20 years. So I'm sure she was definitely probably around when we were there. And then at one point was also the assistant director for C-Step McNair program.
What's her name?
Helen J. Cheeves.
Okay, I don't know her.
Okay. But, condolences to her. She passed last year. But just wanted to give her a shout out and her family, for sure. Because there are some people that are here and some people that are not. I want to shout out, I got to say, my wife, of course, has been a huge, huge impact, in my life. So I definitely want to, put her first. And my mom, of course. But in terms of what we've been talking about, because you mentioned somebody in higher education, I want to mention, man, my third grade teacher, man, a second grade teacher. I'm sorry. She was a Jamaican lady, man. And she was on me. And what I really appreciated about her was her seriousness when it came to education and really taking it to heart, man. And I really liked school that year. I was in a new school, trying to make some new friends, but this lady, man, she was dope, man. She really made sure we knew how to read, we knew how to write. At that point, you had to write in cursive. Yo, hello, you crazy. You gotta spell her name with an I though, bro. It's BRandi. So definitely want to shout out to my third grade teacher. Unfortunately, I cannot remember her name, but Jermaine Myers, if you're watching, or Jamar, because we were all in the same class. If you know her name, man, go ahead and write her name in the chat. But she was great, man, and that really had an impression on me because up to that point, I had white teachers. So she was like my first black teacher, and she was my first black woman teacher that I had in the Rochester City School District when I was there. I did go to city schools. I love since you watch it. I went to three
So
city
when you were in city schools in BRho, like in New York, did you have a lot of black teachers? Did y'all like come? And I know, Kareem, you just said that you didn't really have one until third grade, right? But do y'all second grade, right? But do y'all remember like having a lot of black teachers or teachers of color like coming up?
Let me break it down to you. In junior high school, I'm in Brooklyn, so yes, I have a lot of black teachers in junior high school. When I went to my high school was I went to a white school. Russian, Chinese, Spanish people, 8% black people. Right, one of the top schools in Brooklyn at the time. FDR High School. So I have one of my history teacher, Miss George. She was black. One of my gym teacher was black, Coach Slater. And that's it. I have Spanish teachers, Spanish, math. But everybody else was white. For my whole 4 years. So 90% white teachers.
Yeah.
Now we had a black security guard.
Yeah, we had one of those too. That one of those.
That was pretty much it.
I'm sure he got paid the big bucks too.
It was cool. Our black security guard was cool too.
Yeah, ours was cool, man. He ended up getting caught up later on.
She was beautiful too.
Ours was a guy. He ended up getting caught up later on.
Yeah, it was Women's History Month, man. Let's pull it back. My bad. I'm sorry. I took us off track.
Oh, you know what though? I didn't have a black teacher, but there's a lady. She's still around today. If you're watching this, Stacy Killings. She was the girls track coach at Gates Charlie when I was there, and her nephew and I were in the same grade. She was really cool. She still is to this day. Really cool lady, like just really would talk to us and really encourage us. Like she was one of the few, because the other black lady came, I think maybe like my sophomore year of high school or junior year. She was a counselor. She's a superintendent now. And ironically, not at the same time, but they're both are Zetas. And so the one lady, she was a counselor. I didn't have her. She wasn't my counselor, but she was the main one that was encouraging a lot of us to go to HBCUs. So she really pushed, like people was going to Hampton, Norfolk, Clark, Atlanta, Bethune-Cookman College, FAMU.
I never got that, bro. I know nothing about no HBCU.
It was the class before me.
Yeah.
So it was the 01 class. Bro, half of the black kids went to HBCUs, bro.
Bro, I know nothing about HBCU, bro.
I had a white lady, and she was nice lady, but she didn't know nothing about no HBCUs, man. Like I wanted to go to Tennessee State, and I got denied, and I kind of just felt deflated after that, man. And I didn't really get that type of support because the black lady wasn't my counselor. It was this lady, and that situation is actually why I got into education, because I said I'm not going to allow kids to want to do something and then it don't happen because they don't at least try to put you in the best position for success.
I also want to give flowers to another black woman at Brockport, who I don't think a lot of people see her and see the work that she have done.
Mm-hmm.
She saved me, man, and I could speak on that. Miss Nora Bell. I don't know if you guys know Nora Bell. Yes,
Yeah.
Miss Norabelle, man. She saved me 1 year from getting kicked out of college. I was I needed some. My mother was supposed to sign some papers that she didn't sign, and I needed some money to stay in school. And they dropped my classes, my dormings situation, and I went to her. And I remember like yesterday, we have appointments, and she canceled all of her appointments. And she sat me down and she called Albany. She did this, she did that, did this, she did that. And bro, when she the work that she did, she must have was with me for like 3 hours, bro. She worked with me, and I have to give her flowers.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That's why every time I go to Brockport, I stop at a flower shop, and I don't even go through the front, and I just sneak through right through the back. I know where the back door is. Open the door, man, and go right to her office. And I'll be like, "Is Miss Nora there?" It's like, "Yeah, she's in there." "Oh no, she's not." I said, "Can I leave this on her desk?" And I always, if she's not there, I always leave a rose on her desk. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Because I never forget what she did for me. Because
Mm.
if I'm looking at it, if I would have got kicked out of school that year, I probably would have never came back to school. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know, and she saved me. I just want to say that. So shout out to Nora Bell, man. I know she probably did that for a lot more people. I know I sent a lot of people to go meet her, and she's very quiet, very low key. You know what I'm saying? But she's a real one. She's a real one out there too.
Would you say that um Mrs. Smith or Mrs. Nora Bell and the women we've mentioned, will we classify them as like strong black women?
Oh man, amazing black women. Not only
Mm.
strong,
Okay.
amazing,
Okay.
amazing black women. Dr. Farley, God bless her soul, she passed away
Mm.
from Brockport. And then we're not gonna forget, talk about, Queen Mom,
Of
Queen
course.
Mom.
Of course.
Can't forget about her and her
Yeah.
legacy that she left. Not
Mhm.
only on us at Brockport, some of the girls at Brockport, some of the programs she
Yeah.
come up with did. You know what I'm saying? Some things she wanted to do at a Brockport, or people stopped it, blocked it. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? But at the end of the day, she tried, and she tried for years. Um, but on the flip side, like that, she's still getting her flowers in heaven. But I
Yeah.
said her name still got to be mentioned.
Yeah.
Those are some classic women, man. We came we came in. You know what I'm saying? I have a first lady at my church, Sister White, Sister Grant. These are family people, man, that take us in. Me, Lowell, Narcisse, and everybody that were around my time, they had to go to church. So what I'm saying? They go to church,
Yeah.
man.
That was my time. Yeah.
Yeah, they go to church. You know what I'm saying? And it's amazing, man. It's amazing. We have some amazing women, man, that plays pivot role in our life growing up, other than our moms and our blood family. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's people that meet us at different points in our lives too, right? Because
Yes, sir.
be told mom's not gonna always be around physically,
Mm-mm.
and other people, they take us in or they take a liking to you or they see something and then they want to help, develop that. I mean, I think that's, important to point out too, is that, with men, sometimes it can feel like, you the relationship can feel awkward maybe, but it's not even like that. You know what I mean? Like our mind's not even going in that direction. It's just like you said, with somebody that's helped you, like yeah, that person now, has a place in your heart. You know what I mean? And that's okay, to have that. So I want to talk a little bit about because I mentioned about asking. Well, I asked a question about strong black woman because there's some challenges that strong black women and women just in black women in general just face. And I just want to talk with you all about like, how has that impacted you or maybe in your workplace or maybe at the university level or maybe in relationships, like is there anything that you could think of that that you would want to share.
Yeah, I would just say that I recognize in a professional setting, one of the first quote unquote strong Black women that I kind of came in contact was when I was at Community Place, and it was my supervisor, Dr. Andrea Kane. Now she's working with Rod Jones at Godard down in is it Brooklyn, Bronx? It's in New York City.
In Manhattan.
Yeah, I think they're all over. They got
they have sites all over.
Yeah, they got sites all over the city down there.
Yeah.
But it's a huge nonprofit organization down there, and they're doing some great things. She's like the number 2 at that organization right now, behind Rod. And I remember like some of the challenges that she had, coming on board. Rod actually brought her in. They, I think they were in the same doctorate program, graduating the same cohort. Rod ended up bringing her in to serve as VP, I think at the time. And I remember her coming in, and there were some other white women that were on the leadership team that, would kind of take jabs at her every once in a while. And I saw how, she didn't necessarily struggle, but it was tough for her to get acclimated into her role, because it seemed like every time something didn't go perfectly, she was, kind of being attacked. And, to see her stand up, to the rhetoric and those conversations was great to see. But also later on, when I became a director and I was reporting into her, I had a chance to actually, not just kind of see from afar, how she, moved, but actually have some in-depth conversations with her, and, talk to her about, some of those experiences that she was going through within the organization when she first got there, how she felt, but also how she, continued to just kind of work through them and overcome. And I think that was an interesting time for me in my development, because I was still trying to, find my leadership style. And I think I learned a lot of that from her, a lot of other leadership style from her. So I just want to give her a shout out, Dr. Andrea Kane, for, being that person in my life to help, kind of guide me and show me the way on how to be a true leader, what it meant, how to pour into, someone else too, because I know she spent a lot of time with me on my, development, gave, great feedback, honest feedback as well too. So, I just have to say, I definitely appreciate that from her.
Yeah. And I don't think I ever got a chance to meet her, but I used to always hear you and, Brock, and, at that point, like half the chapter was working in that Community Place, but
there's a few of us, yeah.
that was over
half the chapter. Half the chapter, bro. There's a few of us, bro.
Shoot, even I never worked there, but I went on a trip. I do remember that. But
I worked there.
You worked there? Yeah.
They let me go on some nonsense.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah, but it was a misunderstood after a while though.
So you wasn't still in boxes.
No, it was people doing wrong things, man. I wasn't with the wrong things they was doing there, man. I wasn't with it, man. So I didn't fit the mold.
Gotcha.
When I move on, I started doing some things. And then Rod was like, to the person who was running it at the time. Rod was like, "Do you know who's doing that?" He said, "Mark Guthrie. You know him." She's like, "Who?" She's like, "Mark." She's like, "Yes." She got real quiet because then when she realized something went wrong, and she never paid attention to it, man. And she was listening to a dude that got booted up out of there. African dude got booted up out of there.
So let's that brought up a point that I wanted to make earlier, is the fact that I've seen, at least in the workplace, man, Black women having to do twice as much just to be on the same level
True.
or perceived to be on the same level, man, and the professional or gymnastics that has to happen on the job, man, is just crazy. And I mean, I've seen some of them handle it very well, very eloquently, and I've seen
Oh,
others not. They just did not take it well and didn't respond, and eventually they were out of their role and position. But what role do you brothers play when like black women are on your team or you're partnering with them? Like, what's the position that you take? Because I know, like for me, like I'm working with, if there's like black women I'm working with, like I really do my best to try to like one, be on point, two, really be helpful, three, and I don't like the whole, like Isaac, you talking about the whole throwing the jabs thing. I ain't gonna go for that. Just not gonna do it. That'd be the one time, because usually I'm pretty quiet. I'll listen and kind of just go with whatever the plan is. But if I see that happening, nah, I gotta say something.
Mhm.
I can't sit back
but
and watch.
but also, let's not. We have strong. We have. I see Miss P went through that
Mm,
at Brockport. I see her went through that from her peers, which is different shades of color, and I also see her went through that with people look like her.
mm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I see, and especially,
Context does matter, though, for sure.
huh?
Context does matter. Yeah,
Yes, but
absolutely.
the point I want to make is that I see her. She was just so humble with it, man, and used to be mad, especially when the people that looks like me doing it to her.
Mm.
You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
And I'm mad about that because
yeah,
I'm tight. I'm really tight about it because
yeah.
I'm not.
That happens. That's part of the reality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's like, son, don't worry about that. He's a jerk. You gonna see. You know,
mm,
whatever. I used to be like tight, but and on the other scale, I see people different try to do certain things to her, try to go above her, do certain things, and she's just low key. She said, "Look, I got my data, I got everything that I need." So you know what I'm saying. I used to be like, "All right, cool." You know what I'm saying?
like, yo, you got it. Like, I just,
Well, I'm not worried about it. She could go talk to whoever she want to talk to.
yeah,
This is what they need from me. This is what I got, and
yeah,
plus more than what they need. You know what I'm saying? Plus you guys do A, B, C, and D, and I'm good. So I see it happen all the time, man. I checked when I just moved to Bowie and I was working. I know Isaac North, one of my coworkers, that was picking on her, man. In a meeting, like when a staff meeting, it was picking on her. I'm like, I started the meeting. I said, why are we here? You know what I'm saying? I asked a question, why are we here? And I look at a brother across the table. I said, why are you here? I said, you the last person out of the staff to be on this staff. Why are you throwing jobs? Because you're following other people and don't think you could throw jabs at her, right? And I directed at him. You know what I'm saying? Even my supervisor was like, Mark, my homegirl Latoya was kicking me under the table, like, yo, chill, chill. No, 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 no. No. Let's
yeah,
address the elephant in the room
yeah,
because
yeah.
my little homie who was like my little mentor, she not gonna speak up for herself. You know what I'm saying? But it's affecting her. You understand what I'm saying? So let me address the elephant in the room. Let me address him.
Mm,
Yo, what's your issue with her? Do you have an issue with her? No. So I'm gonna say, my man, I'm gonna ask you, man, keep your comments to yourself. I was straight dressing this dude, man. And I went at him like, yo, and then, all of a sudden now, yo, I'm too intimidated. This. I said, listen, man, Y'all can write that up. I said, I don't
Yeah.
care. I said, I already know what y'all gonna go.
Yeah, but nobody said nothing when he was making the comments, though.
They swept it under the table. And I went to when my supervisor took me to the meeting and I have a meeting with me. I said, hey man, but you know what he's doing. But why you didn't say something as a supervisor?
That right there.
So don't check me for no. I'm gonna stand up for her. That's my Jamaica partner too. No, sir. No. You're not gonna do that to her. You know what I'm saying? So I had to check homeboy, man. I had to check him, and from that day on, man, it come to man. Listen, meetings. Our next meeting was so quiet. Everybody do what they got to do and go home, man. So that was me. You know what I'm saying? And I had to do it. I had to do it for we had another grad assistant. I had to do it for her. I said, why are you, I had to, Corella's like a little sister of mine, man. And y'all, this girl wants to be one of us, and you guys are supposed to pour into her. You're taking out of her because she is smarter than you. She have intellect her intellect is bright. Let's pour into her. You know what I'm saying? I had to get on this lady about her, man. So you're supposed to be your little sister. You're supposed to pour into her instead of you taking and you're talking all this now. Stop talking. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I was one of the ones on the squad people don't want to talk around, man, because I'm going to say what I got to say and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So I had to do that at Bowie State, man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's exactly, that was the point that I was hoping that would be made, is that as men, as brothers, man, like, there are times where we got to stand up for justice, right? We got to stand up when, somebody's not going to be able to talk on their own behalf or whatever the reason is that, we have that agency, man. We do that. That's what we do. We stand up. And like you said, we stand up for what's right. And we address what's wrong. and that's all the way around. That's not based on a color or a gender. That's just principle, period.
Yeah, I think my stance, my perspective on it, and I guess it's just my leadership style in general. It's more so of trying to highlight those around me, right? So I know there's a lot of times, Black women can get to a point where they're not seen, or they're not seen for the level of intelligence that they have. What's up, nephew?
Good.
Good to see you, man.
Good night.
Mister, is that a tooth?
Good night.
That's a tooth missing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why came out from swimming?
One came out at swimming.
Oh, my
I know I just rode the waves. I don't know.
You ain't never gonna find that one.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I think it's highlighting, right? So one of the things I always do with my team, again, men, women in general, but I think a lot of times, if I see that some of my team members aren't getting that love or getting highlighted, I'll make sure and I'll make it a point to actually highlight the work that they're doing, no matter if it was a team effort, right? Or if it was something that either they did on their own or is it something that I did. Mm-hmm. I don't ever take credit for anything. I just say that, right? Mm-hmm. It's always highlighting the team effort that it takes, because whether I did it or not, right? Whether I put this document together or not, whether I, gave this presentation or not, it was the work that the team did in general, or overall, that allowed me that opportunity to do that, right? It was me not having to worry about X, Y, and Z that allowed me, the opportunity to do this, right? And I think what happens is, with me being the leader of the BRho, or the department of the programs, a lot of times that when something good happens, it comes back to me and say, Isaac, did da 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 da, or Isaac, and his team did da 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 da. But I'm very specific when it comes to that, and I'm calling it out, right? I will call out the individuals that did that, and I think it's important that we do more of that, in particular for our Black women that are out there doing the work and pushing these initiatives forward that might not get that same notoriety that I do because of my position or my demeanor or whatever it is. to make sure that we're highlighting them and calling them out for that great work that they're doing as well too. So
I like that.
yeah.
Hey, man, and appreciate you doing that, bro, for calling people in, pulling other
Mhm.
people up. That's important, man, when we get in these positions of authority that, and it kind of alluding to what Mark was saying is that, we all have a responsibility to, again, stand up for justice. Like if something is going on, we need to say something about it. We can't wait until it gets bad, really bad, and then want to address it because now it has reached a couple levels. Because first question I'm going to ask is, did you know about this?
Mm-hmm.
And if you knew about it and you didn't do nothing, then you are part of the problem.
You're part of the problem.
Mhm.
I agree.
So I know it's almost 10 o'clock. We started a little bit later on today, but just wanted to use this episode to take the time in order to honor our women, honor our Black women, and just say that as Black men, we're with you. We salute you. We praise, give you the praise and the honor that you're due, and just know that we got your back.
Yes, sir.
Man,
So,
listen, I'm gonna go first. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so let me do this shout out first because
Well, you do your shout out first.
Well, I always end it with black folks, right? So
Yeah. You can come back to that.
Since we are talking about Women's History Month and women that had impacts on our life, I do want to give a shout out to Dr. Marie Watkins as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she is the woman that kind of got me into higher education. She brought me in as an adjunct professor in the community youth development program. I remember she went out on a sabbatical. This is 2016, I believe. And I was the first person that she thought of to come in and actually kind of stand in the gap for her and teach the classes when she was gone, because she saw something in me, and she thought that I would be the best person to kind of represent those ideologies of youth development and, be a great example of the non-traditional youth development person, right? As a Black man coming in and teaching a class full of white students, right? And, kind of being able to, share the message of what youth development is and looks like, for young people of color that live in the inner cities and get a different perspective of what they've known. If you know, there are PWIs, right? And Nazareth is probably PWWWWI, right? So to be able to give in that opportunity.
I mean, it used to be an all women's school too. I mean, it's
right.
Yeah.
That's, I guess, one of the other W's, right?
Yeah.
But to be able to kind of step into that position, and with her knowing that getting into higher ed was something that was on my to-do list and something that I was striving to do, to be able to be in a position to offer me that opportunity, and as a white woman think of me first over anyone else that she could have put in that position. I definitely just wanted to show my appreciation for her as well too. So shout out Dr. Watkins, appreciate you.
Bro, you want to kick us off?
I want to send some shout out, man, to some people that that did some great things, man, in the Rochester community. Rochester grew me, man. I grew up in Rochester, and I spent so many time in Rochester. Sometimes I even think I'm still in the Rock. But I want to give shout out to Dina Simon. She's doing amazing things around the world. Roxanne Shepard, my big sister Roxanne Shepard. Carla Facey. Toy Walker Smith. My sister Chantel Reddick. My sister Nydia Guthrie. These are Black women, since we're honoring them. My mom. Who else? My aunts. you know, Sister Bannister, we already called her name earlier. Brianne in Buffalo, Dr. Brianne, Dr. Richardson.
Special.
Shout out to you guys, man, because you guys have been a part of me, you know what I'm saying, in so many different ways, you know, and I appreciate you guys, man, and we respect you guys, and, you know, nothing but love and respect. And don't forget Miss Cheryl, too, that you came on the show. She would have been nice to be on the show. Miss Cheryl, shout out to Miss Cheryl.
I've been
You know what
watching
I'm
her
saying?
TikTok videos. Yeah,
Miss Cheryl is Miss Cheryl. Shout out Miss Cheryl, man, you know, love and respect, man, you know. That's my thing.
All right.
Got it,
Well,
Kareem.
yeah, I want to shout out to, man, of course, I said before, my wife, my mom's, my aunt, Vivian down in Jersey. I want to, man, shout out to my third grade teacher. I also want to shout out to Stacy Killens again, Nerlon, both part of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Shout out to Tanisa Johnson, who's been an amazing support, you know, for my family, her and her husband. Man, I want to, man, shout out to the women at Ebenezer Baptist Church, man, the church I partly grew up in. Well, partly grew up in, man. Shout out to all those women and all the wisdom they've imparted in me and the love that they've shown me. Shout out to the women at Mount Vernon Baptist Church as well. I got there when I was in high school, and a lot of those women took me in because my mom and I were at different churches at that point. So I was playing bass guitar and, you know, playing with my friends and really just hanging out, man. And those women really took a hold of me and really, you know, looked out for me. And yeah, want to shout out to Christine, my special, and you know, those women of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Shoot, man, Melanie, Keisha, Delta Sisters, man, all of them. I can go down a long list of just women and Black women, you know, specifically. Shout out to my supervisor. Oh, you got one? Go ahead.
Yes. And I won't be remiss, man, if I don't shout out my Full Gospel peoples, man. My ladies over at Full Gospel, man. I'm about to be in trouble.
I know, 'cause I was about to get to them next, man.
Hey, yeah, Kareem.
For me, Tippy, shout out to Tippy and
Tippy, Sarah,
and all the sisters.
Doris,
yep.
You know what I'm saying? My
Doris,
big sister Rachel.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, y'all would be like, Bruiser, you know, y'all ain't gonna call me tonight. No, sir. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Shatoy Smith.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bialella's not here today to say my wife who I'm married for 13 years. You know, I don't know if it's 13. Shatoy is not my wife. I'm acting like Bialella. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shatoy, man.
He already shouted my wife out earlier.
You know, praise up for you. You know, love and respect, man. That's it, man. That's it. Like you got it.
Yo, Balo wrote when we asked about.
Hey, don't do that. Don't do that,
All
man.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to also, man, one of my mentors. I mentioned her earlier, Dr. Tamika Wagstaff, who's a VP over at Holy Cross, man. Shout out to her for everything, the conversation, get my son over to Brighton to play football. Yeah, man. My doctorate degree helping me getting started with that. Definitely shout out to her, man. That woman's a powerhouse, man.
I remember her from Brockport days.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Powerhouse. All right, what you got? Oh, you're on mute.
Everything y'all said, man. That's it.
Oh,
Nah,
shout out to
definitely.
Soapy. I know
Oh,
she
yeah,
got a
shout
different
out
last
Sophie.
name now, but shout out to Soapy and Christina. It was her birthday not too long ago. Christina Douglas.
Teresia Adams.
Yeah, all of them. You know what I mean?
Lizette, right?
Lizette.
Crystal.
Yeah, Crystal.
And my angel, Latoya. Where Toya at? Shut up, my angel. All 9 of y'all.
Shout out to big sis Bridget. She's been healing over the last few weeks. So shout out to her. I know you hope you're feeling better. Get better with that ankle. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to shout out my baby mom. Definitely appreciate her for all that she continues to do. Man, I'm gonna do a little different. I'm gonna shout out to Mia, who is becoming a strong, beautiful woman. Shout out Ava, who is following Tia, right behind her. I talked a little bit about her earlier, man. Just continue to enjoy watching her grow. And then shout out to Zoe, who just continues to inspire, me to continue to work harder, make sure that she has everything that she needs. I think Eli gonna be all right, but Zoe, I gotta kind of keep an eye out on her. So,
Hard being a middle child, man. It's hard.
Yeah, she's the middle baby too. Like, so it's kind of an interesting, spot for her. But also again, just want to shout out my aunts, my mom, for continuing to be pillars of strength in this family. Continue to pray for her children, her grandchildren. Definitely I feel those prayers every single day. Shout out to all the Black moms that are out there and just trying to figure it out. Some of y'all are doing it on your own. Some of you are trying to deal with the men that help bring these kids into your life, and that becomes a struggle as well too. But you don't let that impact and influence the relationship with the children. But on the other note, you still make sure that your children have everything that they need, and try to fill some of those wants, man. So there's a lot of you out there that are doing that. So definitely want to shout out to all the single moms out there that have a different challenge on doing it on their own. Who else? I don't know.
Shout out Karen.
No doubt.
Karen.
Again, for sure. All right. I think that's all I got.
Waiting for you to do your thing, right? Can you do your thing?
Yeah. I mean, it's Black, not Black History Month. It is always Black History Month.
Always Black History Month.
It's Women's History Month. So I'm not gonna shout out all the Black folks doing Black things, but all the women doing great things, and no matter what your color is, women that are doing things like a Black person would. How about that? Shout you out.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all I got.
Hey man, who is this guy who talk about starving kids in Africa? Do we know my work? Did he ever check me out?
Probably do his research.
Hey man, if you want to go do some research, shorty.
Hey, you taking donations too, right?
Yeah, I'm taking donations.
Yeah, so whoever that is, they can provide some donations.
Yeah, I'm taking donations.
But shout out to Blazing Scar though. Appreciate you coming on. I know you sent the message earlier.
Yes, sir.
And shout out to Bam. I'm not sure who that is, but appreciate you for watching, and we appreciate everybody for watching. And with that said, good night. Hey, find a Black woman to celebrate.
Miss Trinidad. Miss Trinidad.
You didn't want me to go into that. That's why I didn't say nothing. But I'm about to end the stream now. I'm about to end the stream.
Yes.